So before I left on my mini vacation last week, I received a tag request by a fellow subscriber and reviewer. He started reviewing a few months ago. If you haven't checked out his channel, I was tagged by Fragrance Fraternity. So definitely go check out his channel. Support the littler guys. And with that said, the tag request, it was his first tag video, and so I wanted to jump on and help out. And so this one is going to be, if I could keep only one designer fragrance from each house or each brand, which would it be? And I don't know based on the video if there's specific designers I was supposed to use, so I stuck with the ones that most people know. I did 10 designer brands, and my favorite fragrance, if I could only keep one from each house, what would it be? And that's what we're going to be reviewing today. So without further ado, let's get it. What's going on, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back with another fragrance video and also a tag video. Again, I received this tag by Fragrance Fraternity. I don't know his first name. I thought I did, but then whenever I thought about it, I was like, wait, I don't think he's ever said it in a video before because he is newer. So I messaged him, and if before I edit this video, I do get his name, I'll put it up there, obviously. But it's Fragrance Fraternity. Definitely go check out his videos. So he did a tag, his first tag video ever, and it was, if you could only keep one designer fragrance per house or per brand, which would it be? Again, I don't know if there was specific designers I was supposed to do, so I stuck with the Chanel's, Pradas, Dior's, all that kind of stuff, and threw in a few oddballs, but I did 10. And so I did 10 different brands and my favorite designers from that house. So that's what we're going to get into today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, all that good stuff so we can get straight into it. Starting with Armani. So you guys know Armani's, they have the Acqua Di Gios. I wasn't sure if I should include the Stronger With You by Emporio Armani because that's kind of like a side hustle of Armani. So I just stuck with the Armani brand itself. So with the Acqua Di Gios pretty much. And my favorite Acqua Di Gio would actually be not Profumo, not Profondo, not Profondo Lights, not Absolute Instinct. It's this. Acqua Di Gio Absolu. I know people have told me to try Absolute Instinct, and I have only about a week ago, but I still do like this better. Again, I'm going to keep these pretty short since I have 10 of them, but Acqua Di Gio Absolu, very easy to explain. It is the least, it has the least Acqua Di Gio DNA in it. It's only about like 2 to 3% of the fragrance. It is more what you see in this bottle. It is, what color is the fluid? It's ambery. What color is what's the cap? It's wood. It's an amber woody aquatic fragrance. It's exactly what this fragrance is. It's not necessarily aquatic. It just feels like those Versace Hawasses, the Mont Blanc Legend Spirits of the world. That kind of heavy, resinous almost, but fruity aquatic. It feels like that, but this is more of an ambery aquatic. So think of the Acqua Di Gio DNA dialed down with an ambery aquatic, a little bit more of a sweetness because of that amber. It's absolutely a beautiful fragrance. More of a night out style fragrance, but I really, really like this. This is the oddball of the group, and I've always liked it more than any of the other Acqua Di Gios in the fragrance. If I had to keep one, even though I do like Profumo, I don't wear it very much. I have the original. I haven't worn that in probably 11 years. Profondo and Profondo Lights are my spring fragrances, but outside of that, I don't really wear them. But this one I wear all year round. Acqua Di Gio Absolu, that's my number one from Armani for sure. Going into Dior. So I'm leaving out Intense and Parfum here because I feel like that's not really, I'm from America, they're not even sold here, so I don't really want to include those. And honestly, if I had to go with all season wear and the easiest to wear, this would definitely be my first choice. So this one came out last year, and this is going to be my choice for Dior. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of Dior Sauvage, so that absolutely wouldn't make this list. But this is Dior Homme Sport 2021. It came out in January 2022 where I live, but this is going to be your more warm and citrus aldehydic version of the Dior Homme DNA. It has this Elemi pink pepper underneath that citrus. It also has that Dior Homme DNA, not the iris, but the new age Dior Homme 20 style DNA. It has that underneath the fragrance. While you can still tell it's a Dior for sure, but it's fresher. It's more aldehydic, which is kind of like airier. And then it has that nice citrus over top of it. And then this elemi and pink pepper underneath it. It has a little bit of an ambery quality to it as well. Just a beautiful all-season wear fragrance. It's a little bit more higher class. You can wear this dressed up or dressed down, but I find this to be more of a business casual style fragrance, but I like wearing it all the time. Dior Homme Sport is 2021 is definitely my favorite Dior. If we're not including the Intense is my favorite of all the Diors. I know a lot of people would say Parfum. Parfum has this spice to it that I'm not 100% a fan of. But with that said, I really love the Intense. That's my favorite Dior as far as smell, but I'm leaving that out of it. That would be this list, but Dior Homme Sport 2021, I could easily replace that with Dior Homme Cologne, because in the summer, Dior Homme Cologne is as important to my collection as any other fragrance is, because I wear it all the time. But I would say for all season wear, this was a harder one, Dior. But we're going to go from that into one of the easier ones. This one was, I had to go with things that are out right now, because if we had to go back in time and we had to talk about discontinued fragrances, this would be a completely different list. But with that said, we're going with active fragrances that are still in stores at this point in time. So we're moving on from Armani to Dior. Now we're going to Paco Rabanne. This is 1 Million Lucky. 1 Million Lucky. I feel like Paco Rabanne has really gone downhill lately. I was okay with Invictus Victory. Invictus Victory Elixir was a little bit better than Victory, but I still wasn't a huge fan of either of them. I actually sold both of mine off. Invictus, what was the one from last year? I can't even remember. Invictus something. I can't even think of the damn name right now. But that was pretty good too. It's very similar to this, and that's probably my second favorite right now. Then there's Invictus, Invictus Legend. Those are kind of just meh to me. But I also liked 1 Million Privé. 1 Million Elixir's okay, but this one is definitely my favorite. We're talking about my favorite, which is 1 Million Lucky. 1 Million Lucky is going to be my favorite Paco Rabanne, and it probably will be for a while. It's a little bit more youthful than any other Paco Rabannes, and it would be I'd be hard pressed for this, and because this is on its way out to be discontinued, and I would probably think that other Invictus, which I can't think of the damn name right now, but I would think that would take the place of this as my number one as far as active fragrances are concerned. That or 1 Million Royal. 1 Million Royal is very good as well, but I still like Lucky. At this point in time, it's still in stores. It is plum, honey, it is fruity, it is a little bit resinous, it's sweet, it's more of your night out style fragrance. It also then gets more woody as you get to the dry down. The plum in there really has this nice fruity. It's really what started me to have plum as one of my favorite, if not my favorite fragrance note. It has an ambery quality to it, just like all 1 Millions, but this one is probably my favorite of all of them. I still can't, I'm losing my mind right now because I can't think of what that Invictus is. I'll think of it literally in about 10 minutes, but it's going to be killing me through this whole video. Going from Paco Rabanne into Ralph Lauren. So we got the Polo Red line, Polo Green line, Polo Blue line, and so I narrowed it down to two. This one and Polo Blue Parfum. The rest of the Polo Blues, I could have chose Gold Blend. I like that one as well. Polo Greens, I don't think fit in this list. Cologne Intense is okay. Polo Reds, I think Extreme could have easily made this, but as far as all season wear, because Extreme is discontinued, so I couldn't put it on the list. Same with the Intense. So this one, definitely from last year, is going to be a good addition to anyone's collection if you like to overspray your fragrances. This is Ralph's Club Parfum. So yes, I like this better than any of the active fragrances from Ralph Lauren right now. This was a very nice release when it came out as far last year, again 2022. It is a less sweet but more grown up, smoother, better blended version of the original Ralph's Club EDP. It doesn't have any of that harshness that some people get from it. It still has that clary sage and lavender mixture, that sweet aromatic tone, along with some woods, and it's a little bit more grown up. It has a definite vibe of where you can wear it any season, but I would still put this in the age range of no longer being in like high school or anything like that. I would say more of your grown up college, you're maybe 20 to 22, all the way up to about 60 years old. This fragrance will definitely do very well. You have to like a little bit of sweetness in your fragrance with this, though. It's still a Rouse Club fragrance. It still has a little bit of that youthful vibe. But yeah, very, very nice fragrance. That's Rouse Club Parfum. Going into a house that a lot of people are going to be confused on why I picked this over other ones in the line. But this is Chanel. So this is probably going to be the biggest one. If you watched my channel for a while, you know that what I'm about to pick is not going to be a surprise. So you have your Bleu de Chanel. My top three are Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, Cashi, Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme, and this one. This one is my favorite from Chanel. If I had one to pick from my collection to keep, it would be this one. I do wear it all year round, even though it's one of those fragrances that's more for the spring and summer. This is Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. This lasts about 4 hours on your skin. I honestly don't care. It is a lemon cream pie in a bottle. It is higher quality. It leaves you smelling absolutely amazing. I've always loved it. I like it more than Bleu de Chanel. I like it more than Bleu de Chanel Parfum, the Eau de Parfum, even though I love those two fragrances, and I love Cashi, and I love the original Allure Hommes and the original Allure Homme Sport. This one, just for me, is something different. It starts out with a lot of lemon. As you get about 5 minutes into the fragrance, you get more vanilla coming in. They meet at the middle, and you have this musk and sandalwood underneath it, giving a little bit of creaminess and muskiness. And then you mix that together with the lemon and the vanilla, which comes off like a musky lemon cream pie. Again, very high quality and really nice to wear in the spring and summer. That is Allure Homme Edition Blanche, my favorite Chanel from the list, definitely, 100%. Moving into the next five. So this one is going to be, I do want to let you guys know, I just got to get it out of the way now. I'm not going to tagging anybody specific in this video. If you want to jump on this tag and you want to do it, this is an open tag out to anybody out there. The Mikes, the Jeffs of the world from SoCal Scents, anybody, I Smell, whatever. If you guys want to do it, go ahead and do it. So this one is going to be the next brand, which is Paul Gaultier. One of my favorite brands out there. They're hit or miss, though. They have a lot of fragrances. They release a lot of fragrances, and most of them are duds. But then they have their main releases, and most of the time they were good. Ultra Male, Male Parfum. They had Le Beau Le Parfum, which to me is not as good as the original. I know a lot of people disagree. This one came out this year, and to me, it is the best one in the entire line. This is Paul Gaultier's Male Elixir. Picture just the Male DNA, more modernized, in your face, super heavy. It is tonka, it is vanilla, it is sandalwood, it's kind of powdery, but it's just real dense. It has this honey and tonka mixture, takes over the fragrance, and then you have some benzoin underneath it, providing this resinous sweetness as well. Just think of a very dense, very resinous, very sweet, but also really great smelling fragrance for the fall and winter. This is going to be it, mixed with that Male DNA, which is your lavender, your little bit of mint, again, a little bit of woods. That is what you're going to get with this fragrance. I don't really need to go much more into that. It is a very great smelling, sweet fragrance that a lot of people are going to love. And I don't know why I always smell this cap, because you can't smell anything. And I don't want to spray it on myself right now because it's 92 degrees outside. But this one, again, very dense sweetness, resinous, sweet. If you have to like sweet fragrances to like this, if you don't, stay away. I like sweet fragrances. And when I first smelled this, it was so hot outside that when I first sprayed it on, my skin was warm and it just got sour because of how sweet it is. But it's not one to wear in the summer. So I know if you're one of those people that wear it in the summer, you're nuts, but whatever. Do you? I mean, just be happy with yourself. This is one of the oddballs that I threw in there. This is going to be my favorite from the house of Lacoste. I don't even see Lacoste in any of my stores anymore. I know some people have it in their Macy's. My Macy's doesn't have it. This isn't going to be a shock to anybody, but this has been my favorite for the last 2 years. It's one of my favorite Freshies, if not my favorite Freshie in my entire collection. This is Lacoste Blanc Eau Fraiche. Legit, this is one of my favorite. If I had to pick a top 5 fragrances in my collection, this is in the top 5. No joke. I'm not trying to just hype this fragrance up because I'm on it right now for the last month or something like that. No, I've said that for a while, and let me obviously look how much it's gone. I love this fragrance. It came out last year. I think it was April. It is a pickled ginger with citrus and like a fuzzy, almost Ambroxan style woods. I think there might be Ambroxan in here. I honestly never looked at the notes. If I have looked at the notes, it's been a long time. But it's almost like a fizzy, almost Ambroxan style fruity woods that has this pickled ginger across the entire fragrance. I know some people say the pickled ginger comes off like sushi. I hate the smell of the ginger from sushi, but mix that together with the citrus and the woods and that fuzziness and a little bit of spice and a green tone to it as well. That's what you have with this fragrance. It's like walking through the forest on a windy day. It's airy, it's citrus, and then you have a bag of lemons that you're just smelling while you're walking through the forest. That's what this smells like. It's fantastic. Every single person that I know that has tried this has either liked or loved it. So if you haven't tried this, try to get it, because there's rumors that it's on its way out and I need to get a new bottle. That's Lacoste Blanco Fraiche. Will maintain as one of my favorite fragrances in my collection for a while. It has performance of about 6 to 7 hours. On a good day, if you spray it 7 to 10 times. If it's warm outside, you'll probably get 5 hours, maybe a little bit less. It's more on the lighter, moderate side, just an FYI, but it's really nice. Going into another main house, this is Dolce & Gabbana. Dolce & Gabbana has had some duds the last few years. This year wasn't bad. They kind of went back to that original DNA that I've liked so much, and I really like Summer Vibes. Summer Vibes was a good one. It's kind of like the one I'm about to talk about, mixed with like a dusty woods. But my favorite from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, we also have the One line. We have the One EDP, the One EDT. I could pick any of those. It'd be very easy, but this one is my most worn summer fragrance in my collection. This is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. Just had to buy a new bottle about a month ago, and look, it's almost like a quarter of the way gone. I mix this with Tommy Bahama Sit Sail Same Parts, and I wear it all the time. It's only really good for the high heat, though. It activates in the high heat. You can wear it in spring, but it's the only downside to it is after the summer disappears, you don't wear this fragrance anymore the rest of the year, pretty much. Unless you only have one fragrance in your collection, and this is that. I mean, that's up to you. So this is your citrus aromatic fragrance. It is high heat in a bottle. You get some woods and musk, obviously. You get a little bit of a fruity tone, but for the most part, it is a basic citrus aromatic fragrance, and they do it very, very well. High quality notes, high quality everything. Even very decent, like 6 to 7 hour performance with high heat fragrances. Usually I don't get that. With this, I do. On like the 90-degree days like today, which I am wearing this, just an FYI, if anybody wanted to know. It's a good one to overspray, because in the high heat days, it is going to dissipate off your skin quicker. Anyway, so we have two more. The second to last one is the House of Prada. You have your Prada Luna Rosas, you got your Prada L'Hommes, all of those. My favorite is one that I thought was discontinued, and apparently they've brought it back, so I'm allowed to put it on this list. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, whatever. I saw it online a bunch, so I'm not going to say I'm wrong. This is Prada L'Homme Intense. This has been my favorite fragrance from this line since I got it last year for $48, luckily. This is great. This fragrance I got from Nordstrom Rack for $48 by a whim, and it was like the perfect day because I also got Le Male Superman. But anyway, this fragrance is going to be your iris fragrance, but it kind of dials down that makeup-y vibe, adds in this sweet ambery quality and some leather. It also isn't as powdery as the other two, and it's a little bit more on the sweeter side. But I love this. If you like Dior Homme Intense, you're going to like this. But this one has a little bit more of an ambery quality, while the Dior Homme Intense has a little bit more of that spicy makeup-y quality. This one is great. I love the leather in this. I love the amber in this. I love the kind of like almost Tonka vibe you get from it. Very, very good. Prada L'Homme Intense. By far my favorite. It's more of a night out style fragrance, and you get about 8 to 10 hours on that fragrance. I love it. Let me know what you guys think about Prada L'Homme Intense, even though most of the people I've talked to absolutely love that fragrance. Now moving into the last one. I had to save this one for last, and yes, this brand now deserves a spot in the top like 10 talked about designer fragrance brands. This is Azzaro. Azzaro has been coming out with killers lately. I mean, you think about it. Wanted by Night. That was a crazy release. Then we had Most Wanted Parfum from last year. That was a crazy release. I mean, everybody absolutely loved that, unless you didn't, and then you thought it smelled like grape soda, but whatever. They had a lot in their basic line, too. Then they had their Solisarmo line in Europe, which is really good. But obviously, I went from Wanted by Night to Most Wanted Parfum because my favorite from the house is the Most Wanted Eau de Parfum Intense, or just the Most Wanted. This is cardamom, toffee, amberwood. There is bourbon and vanilla in this, surprisingly, as well, I learned, which is what is in the Most Wanted Parfum. This is a night out gem. This is going to get you 8 to 10 hours as well, even though the Parfum lasts longer and projects more. This one is the better fragrance overall. Everybody asks me that all the time. This is an all-season wear fragrance. It's an all-season wear gourmand. It's a fresh gourmand because of that warm and spicy cardamom that has a freshness to it. You mix that together. This fragrance is your night out gem during the spring and summer, and then during the fall and winter, it's an all-day thing. This is great for that. Most Wanted, it's my favorite designer fragrance. It's between that and L'Odyssey Noir Ombre as my favorites. But yeah, I've always maintained I love this fragrance, and that is my favorite from the line. But I don't want to go past more than I've already done, which is like 21 minutes. But let me know some of your favorite designer fragrances. If you could only keep one from any house that's out there, just go ahead and write them into the chat. Let me know. Say Chanel, Bleu de Chanel, whatever it might be. But yeah, this was really fun. Again, I thank Fragrance Fraternity for tagging me in that. And again, I'll be back with another one. This will be an open tag. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. I'll leave it open. So thank you guys so much. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another one. Peace out.